Hey and welcome to Neverwinter with Aragon. This is part 3 of essentially the series where I run Lair the Mad Mage with a complete random group that the game chose for me. So we've just beat Acturia and the Boarworm, and now we just have Trobriand, final boss left to defeat. So we all finally gather up and here we go. First things first, ideally the tank takes the aggro and lures the boss away behind this first scorpion. And when you lure him behind the first scorpion, rotate him around, when he does that big AoE, just that one there, he'll wake up all of the scorpions at once. Depending on your DPS, you're ideally to wake them all up at once rather than risk them waking up individually and waking up in the empowered state. You can see here the tank has missed 2 of the opportunities now. However, the DPS isn't great in this party, so he has enough time. I'm kind of instructing him as we go, since we do have a time limit. You may have just noticed there, we are 10 minutes from the hour, and there seems to be some emergency maintenance going to happen in 10 minutes. So if we don't kill this boss in 10 minutes, we essentially failed. And we'll get kicked from the dungeon, and that'll be it. There, you can see what I mean there. He wakes up all the scorpions like that. They aren't in such a powered state, but that tank seriously has a low amount of HP. So he takes quite a lot of damage comparably. I can just about manage to keep up there with spamming my cure wounds and my channel divinity. And he finally wakes up the last scorpion there. And us DPS are just burning them down. Just about finally finishing off the last of the scorpions. Just making sure everybody's healed when I notice this DPS here. Now here, she seems to be AFK within that lightning ring. At first, initially, I thought she was just standing there, and so I try to tell her to move, and then we quickly realize she's actually AFK because she just dies there. I go and pick her up, hoping that she'll return soon enough, and it doesn't seem so. When I was occupied, seemingly the tank died from getting hit by Trobriand too much, used my lay on hands to heal him back to full. Now Kier dies again. You take a lot of damage over time when you just sit in those electricity coils. I now have a charge. I'm not quite sure what I'm connected to, but I attempt to pick Nalkir back up again, just so in the off chance she'll return, that she'll be still alive. Things are not looking too great here. We're down a DPS already, and we still have another phase of scorpions to get through. And at this point, I've just kind of given up on her, and now she's dead. There's no chance she's going to be coming back to help us. You can see now in the outer ring there, in the coils, the scorpions have spawned in again. And now the tank's job is to make sure he wakes them up before they wake themselves up, all empowered. We get these charges again. I have a negative, she has a plus, so we have to move away from each other. I'm just removing behind this pillar, just to make sure that we don't collide. Because if you collide, you get this debuff, which will significantly reduce your outgoing damage. You can see 2 of them actually received that debuff. One was the tank, and the other one was Rejat, the DPS. As soon as I can, switch over to Cleansing Touch. You can see here now, I'm just waiting for one of my powers to get on cooldown, because you can actually cleanse that chains. Eclipse currently has it, which is terrible, because she's our best DPS here. You need to use the cleanse twice on a target, and then those chains expire. We've gotten the boss just to 50%. Everything's actually looking pretty good. We should have enough DPS to be able to kill Trobriand within that time frame. We still have another 6 minutes abouts. However, the tank did fail to wake up one of those scorpions. We now have a pretty nasty empowered one. Just trying to keep up with those heals, the cure wounds, and a divine shelter every now and again when it's needed. We have charges again. I'm just moving away because I have negative, and who I'm connected to has a plus. Not sure if I noticed, but I don't think I did, but Rejet still has that chain, so he's doing a significantly reduced amount of damage. You can see now Kier is definitely just disconnected by now, completely. Things are still all looking pretty decent. We have the boss nearly down to 35%, so we should be okay to burn him down within that time. However, now we're thrown into the tower phase. Ideally, you all gang up on the same tower, and you get combat advantage by one of you rotating either around the back, or both of you rotate around to either side. I've chosen to be round the back here. Kind of throws off the camera angles, but it gives them combat advantage and thus dealing a significantly more amount of damage, and we should be able to destroy these towers much quicker. You can see the charge there under the minimap. Charge of the storm is building up, and if that builds up to its maximum, we pretty much just all die. Now I'm trying to get everybody to attack the same one. Not sure what's up with Eclipse, but she seems stuck on that tower. We'll see just later on. I'm trying to get Eclipse to come over here, because if we don't burn these towers down quick enough, we're all gonna die. At this point, I kind of realize Eclipse isn't moving. Either she's gone AFK, or I'm not sure what the story is. So I switch over to Smite, just to output more of that damage, to make sure we can get these pillars down quickly. Eclipse still isn't. She puts in the chat she can't move, and at this point I think I realize she's actually stuck in one of these towers. You see, if you're right next to the tower or in its hitbox, when it like breaks, there is a chance where you get actually stuck in the tower itself, and I'm pretty sure that's what happened to Eclipse. So essentially we're down another DPS. We just have Rejat now, and we just have me and the tank. We don't have a lot of DPS between ourselves. And there goes Rejat. He didn't have enough HP, and we just died to that. And you can see here, Eclipse is stuck in the tower, and there's not much she can do about it. I can't even target her to give her those heals. I once got stuck in those towers when I was on my rogue. However, luckily enough, the rogue has the power where they can teleport to an ally, so I would manage to get out of that. Unfortunately, she is Hunter, and I don't believe they have any of those powers. So she is there trying to frantically escape from that. If she managed to escape, we would complete this fight. You can see there, we're down to 3 minutes left to kill Trobriand, just between me and the tank. At this point, I'm not using Divine Shelter anymore. I'm just using Smite. At this point, yeah, things aren't looking good, and we're probably gonna lose this. We have 2 minutes left, and then here comes the bad news. One of these empowered scorpions arrives, one-shots the tank, and he's after us there. Now you can see we only have 1 minute left to defeat him, and I don't think it's going to happen. I just got killed there by the empowered scorpion while I was reviving Draconic. Let's see, can he pick me up? He can, just about, before he gets smashed. I'm really low on divinity, so I'm struggling to keep him healed. However, with the output of damage from this Scaladar and Trobriand beating on the tank, I don't think we're gonna be able to defeat this in 1 minute at all. If we had Eclipse here now, we would have been able to do it. It's just unfortunate she got into that bug, and yeah, that's it. We failed. Unfortunately, it is a tragic and sad ending with this series, I'm sorry to tell you, but we could have done it if it wasn't for that damn emergency maintenance. And there we go, we got kicked out. And when you log back in, you'll no longer be within the dungeon. So that concludes my 3-part series with Random Lomm with random players. Hopefully you enjoyed all 3 of them. If you missed any of the other parts, the link should be in the description below if you're interested. If you like what you saw here, consider leaving the video a like. If you're new around here, consider subscribing. And we'll see you in the next one. Goodbye for now.